All right, Chiefs Kingdom, let's kick this one off with a question that has everyone talking. What if Christian McCaffrey actually ended up in Kansas City? Yeah, you heard that right. The idea isn't just wild speculation anymore. A recent report from Last Word on Sports named the Chiefs as a top trade destination for none other than Christian McCaffrey. And when something like that hits the rumor mill, you know we've got to talk about it. Now, I know what some of you are already thinking. Why would the Niners let go of a player like CMC? That's a fair question, and we're going to break it all down. But first, I want to hear from you. Should the Chiefs trade for Christian McCaffrey? Drop a quick T for trade or P for pass in the comments. Let's see where the kingdom stands on this one. McCaffrey is easily one of the most dynamic players in the NFL. He's a three-time first-team All-Pro, a Pro Bowl regular, and he led the entire league in rushing in 2023. That kind of production doesn't go unnoticed. And yes, he's had some injury issues, but when he's healthy, he's electric, plain and simple. So why would San Francisco even consider moving him? Well, it comes down to money. The 49ers just gave quarterback Brock Purdy a massive contract extension. And while some believe he earned it, others, like our guy Tyler, aren't so sure Purdy is really that franchise guy. Either way, the Niners have to make room on the books, and someone has to go. That someone might just be Christian McCaffrey. For the Chiefs, it's about opportunity. With uncertainty in the running back room, especially around Isaiah Pacheco's health and long-term durability, bringing in a player like CMC could be the kind of high-upside move that makes an already dangerous offense borderline unstoppable. And hey, if you're new here or just found us while searching for Chiefs news, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're breaking down moves like this every day, and you don't want to miss a thing. Now, let's dig deeper into how this trade could actually work. So let's talk dollars and cents, Chiefs Kingdom, because if we're being real, this whole Christian McCaffrey trade scenario doesn't start with football. It starts with finances. The San Francisco 49ers are in a tight spot. They're paying a lot of money to a lot of big names. Nick Bosa, Deebo Samuel, Fred Warner, Trent Williams. And now they've added quarterback Brock Purdy to that list with a contract extension that raised eyebrows across the league. Some see him as the next big thing. Others still see him as Mr. Irrelevant. But either way, he's getting paid like a top QB now. And when that happens, something's got to give. Christian McCaffrey is scheduled to earn over $16 million this year. That's a hefty number for a running back in today's NFL, even one as elite as McCaffrey. And with the league shifting more and more toward young, cheaper backs, the Niners may decide that keeping CMC around just doesn't make sense financially. That's where the Chiefs come in. Kansas City isn't exactly rolling in cap space either, but here's the key difference. Brett Veach knows how to move money around. We've seen it time and time again. He gets creative, he finds value, and he pulls off deals that other GMs wouldn't even attempt. If there's a way to make room for McCaffrey, Veach will find it. Plus, there's a clear path to justify it. Patrick Mahomes is still in his prime, Travis Kelce isn't getting any younger, and the window for dynasty-level dominance is wide open right now. If the Chiefs can get another explosive weapon to lighten the load for Mahomes and Kelce, why wouldn't they at least explore it? Here's a question for you. Do you trust Brett Veach to pull off a trade like this without hurting the team's future? Type Y for yes or N for no in the comments. Coming up, we'll talk about what Kansas City might have to give up to get McCaffrey and whether it would be worth the price. Stay locked in. All right, Chiefs Kingdom, now we get into the real meat of the conversation. What would it actually take to bring Christian McCaffrey to Kansas City? Because let's be honest, the 49ers aren't just going to give him away. McCaffrey is still one of the most dynamic offensive players in the league. He's coming off a monster season where he led the NFL in scrimmage yards and was in the MVP conversation for a large part of the year. Even if San Francisco wants to move him to ease their cap issues, they're still going to want real value in return. So what might a trade package look like? Well, let's start with draft picks. The Chiefs likely wouldn't have to give up a first-rounder. Veach isn't going to mortgage the future for a 28-year-old running back. no matter how good he is. But a second rounder? That's possible. Maybe even a second and a fourth, or a conditional third that could become a second based on performance. But it might not just be about picks. The 49ers might ask for a young player with upside, someone like Sky Moore, or maybe even a rotational defender. Remember, they'd be thinking long-term and looking to add depth on cheaper rookie contracts. And here's the kicker. The Chiefs would also need to rework McCaffrey's deal, or at least restructure it to fit within the cap. That's where things get tricky. It's not just about what you give up, it's also about what you're willing to take on financially. So the big question is it worth it? That depends on how you see the current roster. Do you believe the Chiefs need one more explosive weapon to keep the offense at the top of the league? Or do you think we're better off sticking with Isaiah Pacheco and building depth in other areas? Let me know what you think in the comments. Should the Chiefs trade a second-round pick and a young player for CMC? Drop your trade ideas below. We'll feature the best ones in a future video. Next up, we'll look at how McCaffrey would actually fit into Andy Reid's system. Would he be a game changer or just a luxury? Stick around. Let's say Brett Veach picks up the phone and pulls off a blockbuster. Christian McCaffrey is headed to Kansas City. The question becomes, how does he fit in Andy Reid's offense? The short answer, like a glove. McCaffrey isn't just a running back, he's an offensive weapon. He's elite as a runner, yes, but what really makes him dangerous is his ability to line up anywhere, out of the backfield, in the slot, even out wide. And if there's any coach in the NFL who knows how to use a player like that, it's Andy Reid. Picture this. You've got Travis Kelce drawing double coverage, Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy stretching the field, and now Christian McCaffrey slipping out of the backfield or motioning into the slot. How do you defend that? Defenses would be forced to pick their poison on every snap. That's a nightmare scenario for opponents. And then there's Mahomes. Imagine giving the most talented quarterback in football the most versatile running back in football. It would be an RPO dream. Screen passes, option runs, misdirection plays. McCaffrey would open up a whole new layer to the offense. He'd give Mahomes a reliable checkdown on every play, but unlike most checkdown options, this one could take it 60 yards to the house. Let's not forget the tempo and rhythm of this offense. McCaffrey excels in hurry-up situations, and his football IQ is off the charts. He processes defenses quickly, understands route concepts, and knows how to find soft spots in coverage. He'd thrive in Kansas City's high-paced attack. There's also the locker room factor. McCaffrey is a consummate pro. He trains like a maniac. He plays through pain. And he doesn't bring drama. That fits perfectly with the Chiefs' culture, where guys are expected to show up, work hard, and do their job. The only real question is durability. He's had some injury issues in the past, but if the Chiefs manage his workload, maybe give Pacheco 8-10 carries per game, they could, keep McCaffrey fresh for the playoffs. Coming up next, we'll answer the million-dollar question. Should the Chiefs actually pull the trigger on this trade? Let's talk risk versus reward. You won't want to miss it. All right, Chiefs Kingdom. Let's stop dancing around it and get to the heart of the matter. Should the Kansas City Chiefs actually go out and make a move for Christian McCaffrey? Let's look at the pros first. You'd be adding one of the most dynamic offensive players in the NFL. The guy can run, catch, block, and be a nightmare matchup for defenses. With him in the lineup, the Chiefs' offense would go from explosive to downright unstoppable. Mahomes would finally have a true dual-threat weapon in the backfield, someone who could ease pressure when things break down. From a competitive standpoint, it's a win-now move. You're trying to make history with a three-peat. Moves like this are what take good teams and turn them into dynasties. The NFL is all about windows, and this current Chiefs window is wide open. If you're going all in, go all in. Now let's talk cost. The 49ers aren't just going to hand over McCaffrey. He's got a contract. He's still in his prime. That means draft picks would be involved. Maybe a second rounder, maybe even a player. Are the Chiefs willing to part with valuable future assets for a short-term gain? And there's also the cap situation. Kansas City has already done some financial gymnastics to re-sign Chris Jones and keep this core together. Fitting in McCaffrey's salary might take some creativity. It's not impossible, but it would require some restructuring. Plus, let's be honest, do the Chiefs need McCaffrey to win it all? Maybe not. They've proven they can win with guys like Isaiah Pacheco, Jerick McKinnon, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. But adding McCaffrey could take the offense to a level we haven't seen since the 2018 season. So here's the question for the comments. Would you want the Chiefs to trade for Christian McCaffrey if it meant giving up a second-round pick and a young player? Let us know your take, because this one could divide the fan base. And hey, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and stay locked in right here on Total Chiefs News, where we bring you the realest Chiefs coverage on YouTube. We'll see you in the next one. Go Chiefs!